What's up, guys? Today I'm talking about the subject of vitamin B12. It's a question I've gotten a lot. Probably more people have asked me where I get my B12 from than they have where you get your protein from, which is kind of contrary to the stereotype, but in my case, that's what it's been. And so first of all, I want to point out, some people have told me that it's not natural for people to be vegans, because you won't get enough vitamin B12. So clearly, that's the one thing that you'll lack is vitamin B12. And for the most part, if you eat a varied diet, you eat whole foods, you are going to eliminate most of the possible vitamin deficiencies that you could possibly get by doing so. Vitamin B12 would be the one exception. Now, I've seen people say that, it's not good enough to eat vitamin B12 like supplements. If you take a vitamin B12 pill, you need to inject that bad boy. And in some cases, that might be true. And I'm going to talk about why that is. And it really, for most people, boils down to what we call intrinsic factor. So if you are consuming a diet high in meat and animal products, then it kind of does wreak havoc on your digestive system. And specifically your gut flora. And when you consume, those products, it lowers what we call the intrinsic factor, your body's ability to utilize vitamin B12. And that is the biggest factor in B12 levels, or B12 consumption, is intrinsic factor. It's not how much you consume, it's really how much your body uses. So if you are consuming a lot of really easily digestible whole plant foods, then the truth is that your intrinsic factor is going to be really good. You're going to be able to utilize vitamin B12 really well. And 100 years ago, or more maybe, prior to largely industrialized society, you could get a month's worth of vitamin B12 by drinking out of the creek bed. And me, I'm from Kentucky. There was creek beds that ran all along. If you drove up into, what you call a holler. We called it a holler. And you drive up there and you look off to the side, there's a creek bed. So, you're getting water out of that. I never got water out of that. I didn't live 100 years ago. But if you're getting, water from these, areas, then you're getting a lot of vitamin B12. Now, the danger is you might also get cholera or typhoid or some other bacteria-related disease. So, in that way, I'm really thankful that we have some of those modern conveniences of being able to go to the tap and turn on water and you get out, water. Now, some people might argue that it has other chemicals that are harmful as well, and I would agree, that's probably true, but none of them are cholera or typhoid, so you're not going to die right away from it. And, a little bird just flew up right down here. Oh, I scared it away. Never mind. I just want to show you guys. So, vitamin B12 is it's significant whether you're a meat eater. So, that's another thing that I want to talk about is meat eaters. They think that, it's so unnatural to be vegan because, you won't get vitamin B12. Well, I got unfortunate news for you, and that is that if you live in 2014 and you are eating meat from the grocery store, you are eating a vitamin B12 supplement too, because that animal was injected with vitamin B12 to normalize its stores. It needed that to grow, and for whatever reason they inject them with antibodies and antibodies and vitamins and things to help them grow, to ensure these things happen. So I don't know. But for whatever reason, they do that, and you're getting that too, so you are also taking a vitamin B12 supplement, except for rather than taking it straight into your body directly from the source, you're getting it secondhand, which is the case for all animal-based nutrients. They're secondhand nutrients. They were given, that animal ate foods to get those nutrients in, it grew, and then instead of eating the nutrients themselves, you're taking them from the animal. So it's secondhand. Now, let's see, we've covered intrinsic factor, we've covered that. Oh yeah, the last thing I want to talk about is, so how should you get vitamin B12? Well, Recently I did hear somebody talk about why they did not think that some of the fortified foods like almond milk or rice milk or soy milk or coconut milk or whatever else was a very good source. That is very risky because it may not actually have the amounts recommended, so that it was probably better that you did take it as a pill or as an injection, or they actually have them so you can spray them under your tongue. Anyway, if you are an older person, then your intrinsic factor could potentially be lowered to where you really will not digest and absorb vitamin B12 very well. So taking it as a pill or as a spray may not be the best option. But if you are a young person in good health, you know, and I'm going to say, you know, I'm not talking about young person as in like a teenager. You know, I'm 32 and I'm pretty young. So if you're 30, 40, 50, you know, probably 60 years old, if you're still able to work and do things, then you are probably in a good state for intrinsic factor, and using just a regular pill is probably going to be fine. If you are, for whatever reason, disabled, or you are retired and very sedentary, and you are not in good health in that way, then I'm going to say that taking the injection is probably a wise idea. So that's it. I may not have all the details exactly there, but I guarantee that what I said was pretty accurate. So you guys take it easy, and I'll talk to you next time.